What's up, y'all? It's your girl KC. Welcome to my channel, Conversation for the Ordinary. Welcome back, y'all, to another week of a devotion and something that God has placed on my heart and I wanted to share. My last video was faith versus fear. And in that moment, I felt like God was speaking to me and I wanted to share that with whomever may be struggling with it or may need to hear that. But I hope that it encouraged somebody somewhere. But today's discussion is about before the world knew me, God knew me. I'm going to say that again. Before the world knew me, God knew me. And if you say that prompt to yourself, it should automatically start to do something within your spirit, do something within your heart, because it did for me. As soon as I read that, I was like, dang, whoa, you're right. You're right. Father, you are right. You knew me before anybody knew me. You knew me before the world could even expect me. Like, I can go on and on about this, how great God is and how much He loves us and how much He put time into creating His people, creating us. Like, not only are we separated uniquely by DNA, we have our own DNA. Nobody can copy me. Not even twins can mimic each other or be an identical copy of each other. They can look alike, but their DNA is different, and they have their own unique fingerprint. And God knows how many hairs is on each and every one's head. Like, it's that crazy. He went that in depth, okay? And so, reading that passage, reading that prompt, I was about to journal, which I did, and Psalms 139:13 through 16 came up, right? And what it reads, and it might be a different version, I'm reading from the NIV version, translation, but it says, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the sacred place. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Literally, that last verse right there where it says that the days that God had already set aside for me before I even existed to the world, like they already were created just for me. The times, the dates, the everything was created specifically for me or for you, right? Before anyone ever knew you or expected your existence. Oftentimes we say, oh, I want to have a baby and I'm going to name my child this, or I'm going to name my child that. And the parents are anticipating, but they never know when life will form or when life will happen, right? So again, you can anticipate, but you'll never know when, okay? And even the parents that's like, I didn't plan my children. I wasn't planning for this. Even then, whatever you were doing at that moment, before you got there, God had already knew that He was about to create precious life and He was going to give it to you, right? And so when I thought about this, I started writing, right? And again, God immediately opened my eyes when I read that prompt and I started journaling. And I was thinking about, I didn't want to just stay surface with it, I wanted to go deep with it, right? And I was thinking about my parents and how they were teenagers, reckless, careless teenagers in love. So they thought, and maybe they wasn't love. I can't take that from them, right? But reckless teenagers doing whatever they wanted to do. I'm not going to say reckless. Let's take reckless away. If y'all watching this, please forgive me. careless, careless teenagers going about their life and their day, right? And somewhere in February or March, little old me was conceived, right? They weren't expecting me. They hadn't planned for me, and they were not prepared for me. Okay. And thinking about that, before that day occurred, God had already created me. He had already set up a plan and destination and purpose for me and my existence, right? And so I say, you know, I'm going to go a little deeper. Why? Why me? Why did you want me to exist, Father? You could have created somebody else and gave somebody else these parents or something like that. Why did you? And he began to speak to my spirit and let me know that I created you then before they knew, but before the world knew. I created you then. I prepared life for you. I prepared everything for you. You came and they weren't prepared. They had little to nothing. Mind you, I said they're teenagers. They had little to nothing to their names. They were being taken care of by their parents, okay? And I also wanted to write down that God decided to give them. He could have chose anybody, right? He could have chose a millionaire. Bill Gates could have been my daddy, okay? He could have chose a millionaire. He could have chose anybody to be my parents, but he chose those set of humans to be my parents. And this is not a bash or anything like that. This is for us to go even deeper. Mind you, they were teenagers. They weren't prepared for their consequence. And now is their beautiful consequence, right? And I thought about it and I was like, before I came in existence, God had already created me, right? He already knew who I was going to be. And so when I entered my mother's womb, he automatically started giving me these beautiful details: my smile, my hair, my complexion, my beauty, my voice, my gifts. Like he had already started to weave together me. And as I'm saying me, think about yourself as well. But he started weaving me together, right? Putting me together, right? I could have had an arm on my forehead or something. He decided to put every part in place, right? Perfectly set. And again, he could have given me to millionaires or billionaires, right? But he gave me to these two individuals. And I said, why me, Father? Why them? Why did you choose them? And he began to open my heart up and open my mind up even bigger, y'all. And he began to tell me that I have a greater plan and a greater purpose. You are not here just because, right? You are not created by accident. You are here with a purpose. So, as he was talking to me, he was like, do you remember the story that your father told you? That after he found out your mother was conceiving you, he began to get his life together. He gave his life over to me, your existence. Just because they knew you were coming, things started to change in people's lives. Your mother and your father probably weren't even thinking about me. But because I gave you to them, your father woke up and immediately wanted to make a change in his life for you and for himself so that he can give a better life, right? It woke something up in him. Your mother needed love at that time. And I sent you to show her and remind her of my everlasting love, my unconditional love. I sent her. I sent you to her, right? And so as it was going on, I was like, okay, Father, but what else? And he was like, wait, there's more. Not only did your father change his life, not only did your mother receive love, but your mother's heart began to grow, and she became a servant to my people. She has a heart of gold where she helps without question. She does not judge anybody, but she helps. Like my mom be helping people. I be like, Mom, what? Why? But she has the heart of gold and she has the heart of service. And that's what God placed in her, to show love to his people. And she has touched so many people's lives. But it all began with my existence. And my father also, he began to minister to me some more. And he was like, do you know your father became a pastor? Your father became a pastor. And many of my people gave their lives over in his ministry. Many of my people were able to hear about me and surrendered their lives and turned about face and made the same decision that your father made 20, 35 years ago about you, about himself. He made the same change. So you were not here by mistake, my dear. You came with a purpose. And so I was like, dang, God, you, me? Little old me? You had set me up for a mission, right? And he was like, I'm not going to stop there. There's more. There's more. So, yes, as I used you as an assistant to my two loving children that I love before you, I also had a bigger, even bigger plan with you, because not only did you come up the way that you came up, but to this day, I still believe that I may be the person that is supposed to break generational curses in my family. Um, and that's another discussion, another topic for discussion later on. But I believe that I was the one set up because I have the passion to break chains. I have the passion to fight. I have the passion to draw closer and run after God. Like, I have the passion for it. I have the passion and the desire to help. Okay. And he created all of that within me, right? And so, my desire to break strongholds, my desire to break chains, my desire for generations after me to switch and make a shift, God reminded me that he did not just stop on them two, but he began with me for generations to come, where there will be men and women coming from this bloodline who is going to touch even more souls, who is going to bring even more people closer to the Father, who is also going to be set free from different traumas and pains and sufferings. There will be no longer, right? The children, my children, and my children's children will no longer suffer from the curses in the past, right? And it might start with me. I might be the initiator, right? And my children's generation is the takeoff. They're enforcers. They're going to take off. And it's all those generational traumas, all those generational curses and chains broken. And no one ever suffers again. And God is going to be able to move easily through the ministry, through our ministry, through our bloodline to start to create this tree. That's what I envision, a tree with branches, right? The roots are deep, but out springs this tree with different branches, different leaves for everybody to see. Because at the end, God is glorious, God is victorious, he wins. So this might have sounded like it was oh, it's about me, it's about me, it's about me. No, it was about me, because God reminded me, I love you this much because I have this, I have a plan. You're right. Life could have been any kind of other way, but I have a plan and a purpose, and I knew that you would be the one, the best candidate to handle my mission. I knew that your existence would be the best fit for the mission that I have for you. Just like with Joshua, when God had told Joshua that he was the commissioner. He was the one that's going to lead his people to the promised land, right? He commissioned Joshua to it. And God had already knew that Joshua was going to lead his people. He had a plan. He said, I go before you. Like, God already had a plan. Okay. And I was also reminded that my bloodline is on purpose, because I feel like we are about to be the Israelites that are marching around Jericho, and we are about to shake some stuff up. I believe it in my soul, my bloodline. Can't speak for everybody else, but my bloodline is about to shake some stuff up, shake some walls, okay? And so that's what God encouraged me. And I hope that it encourages you, my story. But all you have to do is insert my prompt, the before the world knew you, God knew you. Insert that into your prayer today. Insert that into your thoughts and just think about it. Write it down. What does that mean to you? How does that help you identify even more, right? It just goes to show how much God loves us. And he does not do anything just because he does everything on purpose. All right, y'all. So that is my small tea for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, Psalms 139, 13 through 16 is where we got our message from today. All right. I love you. Peace, love, and harmony.